When I was in school, I always loved taking multiple choice tests. I always really looked forward to that, probably because I did well on them typically. But the reason I did well on them was kind of the key point here. I had a couple teachers that told me I was just a good test taker, and I never really knew what that meant. But as I think about it, and as I thought about it at the time, I think it's because, particularly on multiple choice tests, I knew how to use the test a little bit to my advantage, to give myself a little more information, a little bit more of an edge in terms of answering the questions. What do I mean by that? Well, there was a bunch of tricks and things you could do, right? You could skip certain questions, right? Go to the easiest ones first, build your confidence, kind of psychological tips. You could use the answer choices from the multiple choice question to solve the question, right? If you didn't know how to do it in a math equation, for example, if you forgot how to do the math, you could take the numbers from the answer choices and plug them back in and test it. You could do things like that. And it gave, in my mind, having those multiple choice answers there in particular, it gave you extra information, right? It gave you some framing of a range of the type of answer you might be looking for, or the type of answer, right? If it was like a reading or a writing type multiple choice, it gave you some perspective. It gave you some insights to what the answers might have been, things that you could add to your analysis, and more information is always better. And probably most importantly, it gave the confidence that it was a solvable question. For me, at least, when there is uncertainty, that makes it very tricky. So knowing that, hey, there's four possible answer choices and the answer is there, it's staring you in the face, it's solvable, it's one of those four, you can work through it. There was a confidence in that I ran with, I guess, and it helped me on the tests. But there was one type of multiple choice question that I hated more than anything. And that was, it would look just like a traditional multiple choice question, but the last answer choice would always be, there's not enough information to answer this question. And that drove me crazy. It was kind of the kryptonite for me when it came to taking tests, because it's the exact opposite of what I was just saying a minute ago. That confidence you got in knowing there's an answer choice there, knowing this is a solvable question, that disappears in that question type. That one little answer choice saying there's not enough information throws all that away. Right, so think about it. You're working on a question. Let's say it's a math question, and you're trying to solve it, and you're coming up with different answers that don't match the multiple choice, or you just can't get through the calculation. It's just not working. There's some sort of hurdle or roadblock that you're hitting. When that answer choice is there that says there's not enough information, well, now you don't know. Like, am I messing this up, or is there just not enough information? The temptation is to think, well, there must not be enough information, right? But you don't know for sure. You're uncertain on what it is. Compare that to when that answer choice isn't there and there's just four answers and they're all numbers. Well, now I know I can solve this question. And if I'm not getting to the right answer that's listed, or I'm just not getting to an answer, I'm struggling in a certain step, I know it's something I'm doing wrong. So if I keep digging, if I keep working, maybe I overlooked something, maybe I miscalculated something, maybe I misread something, whatever it is, I know it's something I could fix. There's an answer that I can get to. And that's a hugely empowering thing. So why am I talking so much about multiple choice tests? Well, I think there's a really beautiful parallel to this and to how I think about my thinking now. I've talked a lot about this principle of logic that I believe to be true, which is that for all of us, every action, every decision, every belief we have is rooted in some logic, some math equation, some cost-benefit analysis that we run, that we act in accordance with. So back to the multiple choice test, there is an answer there. There is something there. It is not what I previously would have believed, which is there's an answer choice that says there's not enough information, right? If I made a bad decision, if I seemingly was doing something that didn't make sense, right? I say I want to get in shape, but I'm not, or whatever it is, right? There would be a part of me that says, well, I don't know, maybe I'm just being irrational, or maybe I'm just crazy, or maybe I'm just letting my emotions take over, or maybe, whatever excuse I make up, right? Or maybe I just wasn't thinking, or maybe I just made a mistake. But it didn't give me this confidence and drive to say, there is an answer here. There's some reason why I'm not doing the thing I want to be doing, seemingly. And I can find it, right? I didn't know that the answer was definitely there. But now that I do, much like the multiple choice test, it gives such a confidence and an empowerment to say, hey, if I'm willing to work hard enough, just like on the multiple choice, if I'm willing to, I'm running into some walls, I'm running into some hurdles, it's not clear to me why I'm acting this way, but if I'm willing to do the work, if I'm willing to dig and get into the mud, like I talk about, there is an answer to be found. So don't give up. There is enough information to solve this question. It may be tough, It may take time. It may be something that you don't love, but the answer is there. And that confidence has helped me a ton as I try and work through my issues. And it's allowed me to be way more self-reflective, way more aware of my blind spots, my biases, where my thinking goes wrong, and really help to try and improve me as a person.